Welcome back to Real Roots Radio. I'm tickled to have my old pal Tim Shelton join me on the air today. How you doing, Tim?
I'm good, Daniel. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for joining me. Of course, folks in the Miami Valley are familiar with your longtime career as primarily a bluegrass singer. Great work in bluegrass gospel as well. But the Tim Shelton Syndicate, your latest musical endeavor, has your first ever country album coming on the horizon. Why don't you tell us about that project and where you got the idea from?
Well, I've always loved country music. The first real concert I ever went to was Randy Travis and Gene Watson at the Preble County Fair in Ohio.
That'll work.
And then the next concert I saw was Alabama in their prime with Clint Black and Lori Morgan. And then it was Ricky Skaggs back in his country days. So I mean, I've always loved country music. I was a huge Hank Jr. fan many moons ago, still am. Jerry Lee's country stuff. I just love
Oh
it,
yeah.
and all the old stuff, and some of the new stuff. It's come back around to where you see a more traditional country approach
Your
rather
Cody
than the.
Johnson, Zach Top.
Yeah, absolutely. Jake Worthington's another one that's really, really good. There's a whole slew of them out there, and it's refreshing. And anyway, we started recording this uh in the spring of 23 and then just wrapped it up. There's still actually one track. The vocals are not finished yet, but I'm waiting on Sonia Isaacs and Ricky Skaggs to sing some harmony with me on
That's
that.
worth
So
waiting on.
it's worth waiting on.
Hey, so a lot of folks have a an ill-conceived notion that if you're going to make a country record, it needs to be all old songs. It needs to be all classics. If you're not singing Merle Haggard and Gene Watson and Loretta Lynn songs, then it's not a real country record. And even the cats you mentioned, Cody Johnson, Zach Top, Jake Worthington, they're kind of bucking that trend by you can still write great new country songs and present original new material that is country to the core.
Sure.
And you're expressing that on this new album, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's there's mostly new material, and it's
Great.
with the exception of the new single, which is still country, but it's the least traditional of the rest of the album. I've written a song that is pretty traditional, especially the content of the material, the lyrics. Ronnie Bowman and I wrote a song that is really country, and then I got another one from him that's really country, brand new. And there's a couple of covers on here, but they're not like there's one that's pretty well known, but the other ones are not all that well known. The rest of it's new material, and absolutely, there's no reason that you can't come up with new songs that sound like real country.
Amen, brother. Amen. The themes and that make country music great are still universal and still apply. And great new original country songs is a great way to showcase that.
Yeah, and I mean, great country songs are great. Any songs for me, it's almost always about real life, and whether it's heartache, love, heartbreak, whatever. The best songs are based in reality.
Uh, the new single from this upcoming project releases today, and it's written by one of the biggest hit makers in country music over the last, I guess, decade now. Hard to believe that
I
Chris
know.
Stapleton has been making new fans and in country and real deal gritty, earthy, rootsy music for a decade plus. This is after the Steel Drivers. So, why don't you
Oh
tell us
yeah.
about how exciting it is to record a new song written by Chris Stapleton?
Well, it's I'm thrilled and honored. He and Barry Bales have written some monstrous hits along with Ronnie Bowman over the last few years, and he and Barry had written more songs that hadn't seen the light of day. Barry sent me these songs a few years back when he and I were doing some work together, and I loved them, so I held on to them. And this was one of those songs, and first time I went in the studio and we cut it, it was just it's just unique, and it's got this real haunting melody, and then the players on it. The band went in and we cut the rhythm tracks, but then we had Janae Fleener play fiddle and add a string section, and she's a monster musician, and um we were sort of in between bass players at the time. So Ben Isaacs is playing bass on the whole record. He's also co-producing it with me, and he's a monster musician. And but back to recording a Chris Stapleton song, it's really cool. I mean, he's such a talent, and aside from the worldwide fame, which he deserves for his talents, it's a cool thing to go in and cut a song by him. We've done it live a few times, and the second I mention that it's written by Chris, like people just go nuts. Like they're already on your side for the song. They haven't heard a note, and they're like, "Woo!" You know, it helps.
You mentioned that it is more on the edge than some of the other tracks on this upcoming country album.
Yes,
And that's just like Chris, right?
yeah. I mean, it is like his stuff isn't, a lot of his material isn't something that Buck Owens would have recorded, and that's not bad. It's just how it is. This song, not necessarily lyrically, but the way it's structured and the chords in it, it's just a little different. But I love it. I loved it the first time I heard it. I heard a rough demo of Chris doing it with just him and a guitar, and like I thought to my, it's like, that's the one bad part about recording his music is you got his demo, and it's like I can't do any better than that, like, and it's just him and a guitar. It's like that's what I want to hear. But no, it's really it's cool.
Awesome. It's got a good soulful production on it. And you, like myself, we both love music that is chock full of heart and soul. And this track definitely fits the bill.
Yeah, it's about it's a breakup song. I mean, no two ways about it. It's definitely a breakup song, but it's just an interesting take on it. It's a new way to write a breakup song is what it's about.
It's called Bad Enough, and we are stoked to be premiering it on Real Roots Radio today. Tim, thanks for joining us on the air. Where can folks go to keep up with you, see your tour schedule, and so they can be in the loop for when the full album drops in the coming months?
Any of the social medias, just search the Tim Shelton Syndicate, or the website is timsheltonsyndicate.com, and that'll be getting a new fresh face here soon once the record comes out. But this single, we're thrilled to have it out, and I appreciate you playing it and featuring it and talking to me about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.